Hey folks, Country Prepper here. It's a pretty nice day out even though there's snow on the ground. I thought I'd go ahead and shoot a video outdoors for you guys. I've been stuck in the garage trying to get my sheath orders finished up before the end of the year, so that's why I haven't shot very many videos besides the whole recovery thing and all the physical therapy and lawyers and insurance companies and doctors and all that kind of crap. But anyhow, what I want to talk about is the economy. I've been watching a lot of videos in the news and several people about what's going on in the economy lately, and it's starting to make me a little nervous. I'm starting to wonder if we are headed towards an economic collapse. And there are plenty of reasons to be concerned about the economy right now. Historically, we have had a recession under every Republican president since I think the 60s, maybe the early 60s, and it has taken place in their first term. So 2019, we could see a recession. The trouble is, since 2008, with the last recession, the Federal Reserve has been creating money basically out of thin air to the tune of, I believe, about $3 trillion. Globally, the central banks have pumped about $9 trillion into the world economy. And so I think this next recession is going to be a global recession. And the reason that I think it could turn into a complete economic collapse is because of all the debt. This country is almost 22 trillion in debt now, I think, if we haven't already hit that number. We are getting very close. There have been a ton of companies going out of business, reducing their workforce, laying people off, shutting down stores and factories and all kinds of stuff. Just to name a few: General Electric, JCPenney, Sears. Now General Motors is saying they're going to lay off about 14,000 workers and close a few plants. They're speculating that Ford might be laying off up to 25,000. Don't quote me on that because they haven't announced anything yet, but that's what people are speculating, that I've seen in several videos. And so, I mean, that's just a few examples. Around here, we've had 3 or 4 major plants, like manufacturing places closed down, and that's displaced a lot of workers, thousands of people. We've had a lot of small mom and pop type businesses closed down. Amazon's basically killing the local shops, and of course it's not just Amazon. There are other large online retail marketers. Walmart has been pushing out the little man for a long time in most of the country. That creates a problem. There's just no room for small business anymore. Big companies have gotten too big. The big banks have gotten way bigger than they were in 2007 before the crash back then, and so things are just getting worse and worse all the time. Now back to the Federal Reserve and how that is causing such a major problem is they have been, like I said, creating money out of thin air. They're not actually printing it. They're not printing dollar bills because this money is not being circulated to the public. Big companies and billionaires are taking out loans at 0% interest. They have been for the last 10 years doing this. And most of what they're doing, they're not creating jobs. The whole trickle-down economics thing is a scam. They have been buying back their own stocks to artificially inflate their stock prices. And the trouble is now the stock market's coming down. The bull run is probably over, and we've seen several drops in the stock market. I believe yesterday, what was it, the Dow dropped like 800 points, 799 point something. So that was a pretty big drop, and the other markets have dropped right along with it. There have been several big drops like that in the stock market over the last few weeks. But that's the main problem, is because the money is not going to the people that actually spend money. Rich people, millionaires, billionaires, and big corporations, they buy back their stocks, they buy investments, they don't put the money back into the actual economy. So the little guy is completely left out. People like you and I, lower and middle class people, have been left out of this economic boom that they keep talking about on, the fake news that they keep, politicians and especially our president has been talking about. It is fake. They are lying to us. I don't know about you, but the economy sure as hell doesn't seem like it's working good for me. You know, there's no supply and demand because people like us don't have as much money to spend. If they would have taken that $3 trillion and pumped it into the economy with the middle and lower class income people, then we would have spent that money on goods and services instead of investments. I think that would have stimulated the economy a lot more, and I don't think we would be in quite the mess that we're in right now. What has me the most concerned is Canadian Prepper did a video here a couple days ago about how one thing could set off a chain reaction of just total shit hit the fan. If the economy collapses, we could have a situation like they had back in the Great Depression where people lose their homes, and the real estate market, I forgot to mention, that has been dropping significantly too. But if people lose their homes, and there used to be villages of these little shacks that people built from scrap materials that they found laying around, there were villages of these things all over the country. And so if you get that kind of a situation, people lose their homes, living in shacks, they don't have proper sewage and running water, those kinds of things, basically turns this country into a third world country in many areas. The rich are still going to be fine, but everybody else is probably not going to be. If you don't own your home, you're screwed. Because there will be massive layoffs, no jobs for anybody. And so how do you keep your mortgage up? Because of lack of sewage, lack of running water. Even if you're a prepper and you have all this stuff stocked up, you got to be able to store it somewhere. So it could be a situation where an epidemic, widespread sickness, illness spreads across the country. It's possible. It could very easily cause civil unrest. You just never know what could happen. Those are just a few examples, things I thought of off the top of my head. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think we're headed into recession? Do you think it's going to be worse than that because of all the debt we have in this country, or for whatever reason? Let me know in the comment section below. I always love reading you guys' comments. So that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and share with your friends. Let them know about this video so maybe we can get a conversation going. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.